I think it already is, Julie.
I think you are right.
Says at the top. Uh,
Recording.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So welcome everyone to our Peer Connections today with the Tetra Society. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we live and work on the traditional territories of many Indigenous nations across Turtle Island. While we meet today on a virtual platform, we must recognize the importance of the land and our treaty agreements. We acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territories of all Inuit, Métis, and First Nations peoples. As our Spinal Cord Injury Ontario community encompasses many geographies, we ask that everyone take a few moments of their day to find out which unceded or treated territories you may live and work on. You can use the link www.native-land.ca to learn more. So my name is Julie. I am the peer support coordinator for Spinal Cord Injury Ontario in the London region. And today we've got joining us is Sylvia Balco, who is the national coordinator for the Tetra Society of North America. So she's going to talk to us today about all the amazing things that the Tetra Society has done and is doing. So Sylvia, I'll let you take it from here.
Excellent. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, first of all, for the invitation, and thank you to everyone to showing up. So I'm just going to share my screen here. And as Julie mentioned, please feel free to um, ask questions because I can do both. I've done this for many, many years. So I've been with the Tetra Society over 27 years. I started out as a volunteer, and as Julie said, I'm now the national coordinator. So the Tetra Society started many, many years ago, 37 years ago to be exact, by a gentleman who had a skiing accident in British Columbia and became a quadriplegic. His name is Sam Sullivan, and you may know him because he went on to become the mayor of Vancouver a few years back. So, why is it the Tetra Society? Well, Sam did not want to call it the Quadriplegic Society. He thought that was pretty boring. So, he took the word tetra, meaning four, because four limbs are affected, from the Greek word tetra, and that's how we became the Tetra Society. Okay, it's not working. So, I got to stop sharing and try again here, Julie. That's the technical beauty of computers. Sorry about this.
No worries.
Should work now. There we go. So what do? We build really cool things for people with disabilities so they can overcome a barrier. And you can see on the right here, Jim. He's an avid bocce ball player, and we built him a rack on his wheelchair in front of his legs there for his balls. And you can see he's also holding on to a handle there so that when he throws the ball, he doesn't fall out of his chair. So we built that for him a number of years ago, and we've done it actually a few times as his wheelchairs change. So we are a nonprofit, and we have a lot of skilled volunteers in Ontario alone. To date, I have 108 people who are carpenters, engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, just handymen with a garage. So there's no cost for labor to anybody. And in Ontario, you can see here actually the whole map across Canada. We're right from St. John, Newfoundland, all the way through to Victoria Island in BC. So there's 40 communities, or actually we serve every community, but there's 40 chapters. And in Ontario, we have 10 chapters. So all the way from Windsor, all the way to Ottawa. And we don't have a green dot yet there for Thunder Bay, but we also have one in the north as well. So what do we make projects for? Anything. Something you need for every day. If you go to school, something for work. Maybe you need your desk altered. We modify toys for children. Any recreational activity you may be doing. Maybe you want to take up a new hobby like photography, I should say. My English is not well today. Sports. We do a lot of hockey sticks, especially for the electric wheelchair team in Toronto. They go all over the world and they just love our sticks. And music too. We've done modified guitars, saxophones, recorders, you name it, pianos, etc. So if you go on our website, which is tetrasociety.org, you can get into the Tetra base. And that shows all the completed I should say all. There's about 3,000 projects. We've completed about 9,000. You can't go on and buy anything, but you can certainly look to see if we made anything to solve a problem. You can filter and ask desk. or toy, and then all the projects related to that will pop up. So you can see in the center there where the little girl is sitting at a desk, that desk was made for her for school. It goes up and down, and of course her chair fits right into it so that she has a table surrounding her there. And yeah, nice school project. So how can you have a device made? It's very simple. We have an online form. There's a link if you can use a computer. And once you submit the form, I get a copy of it and I'll let you know that I got a copy of it. Or if you can't use a computer or you find it difficult, you can also call us on our 1-800 number. You don't need to know what the solution is. You only need to know what the problem is. So if you say, I want to watch television in bed, but I can't see it where it is now. That's all you need to know. So this is our website. You can see here, well, maybe not too clearly, but there are 3 dots. So on the left is where all the projects are stored. You search our Tetra base. The center is where you would request assistance. And because you don't pay anything for these devices, you can click on the support button if you wish, and you can donate even $5 and pay it forward for someone for another device. So everything is nice and handy on the website. So this is what the form starts to look like. It asks you to select a chapter near you. And if you don't know, like let's say you don't live in a city like London, because there is a London option, you can select I don't know. So there's that selection as well. Then it just asks you your name, your email, and your address, your phone number, what your problem is, if you want to involve somebody else. And that's really it. It's about 6 pages, but it doesn't take more than a few minutes to fill out. It's very simple. So our philosophy here at Tetra is always to listen to the client. It's very important. A lot of people sometimes are sheltered by their parents or their therapists or somebody else, but it's your project and we want you to be part of it from beginning to end. So you fill out the request form or you ask us for assistance to fill that out. You have input on the design of the device, so the volunteer will not make the device until you say, hey, that looks pretty good, let's try that. Um, excuse me, you can always call the volunteer and say, hey, I changed my mind, maybe we should try this instead. And then, of course, once we install the device, either on your wheelchair or in your home or at work, wherever it may be, you can let us know if it's not working. We will come back and we will keep tweaking it until it works for you. So I'm just going to get into some of the projects we've done in the past. This is an accessible crib. This gentleman actually lived in New York State, but he played basketball here in Toronto, and he had a baby born to him, and he wanted to participate. And a crib from the United States is about $5,000 US, which is cost prohibitive to most people, even to me. So we can make this crib for about $800. And he took it back and assembled it in his home, and you can see that he can fit underneath perfectly because we make it exactly to the height he needed it. We attach a lot of things to wheelchairs: cup holders, phones, tables, bags, umbrellas, you name it, we attach it to wheelchairs. We don't screw into the frame either. We clamp onto the wheelchairs so we don't nullify any warranties. But we can also work on walkers. We've worked on all kinds of equipment, not just wheelchairs. We've made bocce ball ramps for individuals and for clubs. This one here can go up and down. It can swing left and right. The person can put the ball in any one of those 4 wooden slots there. This little boy is going to open the slots with his foot. There's a little wooden stick that he lifts the bar and then it shoots. Or if they can't use any part of their body, we also have an electronic switch, which they can push with their chin or their tongue or their elbow, and it will open and release the ball as well. This lady here needed to go to work on the public transit in Toronto, and she needed to take her daughter to daycare. And how is she going to do that? So we attached a little car seat on a nice little contraption. I don't know what to call that. And it attaches to her wheelchair very easily. She gets on the bus, drops her daughter off at daycare, unsnaps the device, and goes to work, and then comes back and does the reverse. So it made her work day very easy. We do card holders, domino holders, anything for a game we'll modify for you. This is a washing machine on the left. That's the way the washing machine came. And this was made for a quadriplegic. And on the right-hand side, he's using his T-stick. And our volunteers simply drilled a hole through the dial and put a little ring in it. So now the person can change what type of load he wants in his wash, turn the machine off and on when he wants, etc. This lady here has MS and she walks with canes. However, you can't walk with a cane and push a stroller at the same time. She tried doing it and actually she went downhill in a parking lot and fell because the carriage pulled her forward. So our two volunteers on the right there, Glenn and Eric, they built a braking system that is actually made out of a walker. They inverted it and attached it to the stroller. So not only does she have a place now to hang on to, but she also has a braking system in case she does come across the little hill where the carriage starts pulling her down. And of course, her husband can also use the stroller because that device easily comes off with two clamps. So you just push the clamps and away you go and you have a regular stroller. We've done a lot of these as well for people who are racers. It wouldn't be one of me, but anyways, on the left you can see the device was drawn up by the volunteer beforehand to show the client before they made the device. And on the right-hand side, you can see the wooden construction that was made. So now this person can train in the winter when we have snow outside and unable to go on the sidewalks or in his basement or wherever he wants to do his training. So that worked out well. This one here I'm going to show we did in London for a lady who was a paraplegic. She wanted to go kayaking, so we actually did 3 projects for her. On the left, you can see the bench behind the kayak that she transfers onto. Also in the middle or on the left, you can see the seat we modified that works for her and gets her strapped into the kayak. And on the right, you can see the gentleman in the red putting on the buoys there so that the kayak doesn't tip over when she gets in the water. So very easy. And they also made a system to roll her into the water and to get her out of the water. So actually 4 projects. We do a lot with kayak and sailing clubs. This little boy here was 6 years old and he had never moved on his own. He could only move his right hand and everything else is immobile. And so a men's organization donated the truck. We got the client from Aaron Oak Kids, which is an organization that deals with children with disabilities. And then Tetra took out the gas, the brakes, the steering wheel, and the seat. And we put in this seat that he would be harnessed in to make him safe. And they put all the controls on his right-hand side there with that little red joystick. And now, for the first time, he can move on his own. And he was giggling up and down the hallways. I wish I had included the video here, but it's too long. And he also can now play with his brother on the driveway, and he's having a blast and moving for the first time in his life on his own. I would call him the big kid. He brought us this huge vehicle, and I said, I don't think we can do this, but our team in Guelph, they're fabulous. And on the left, they made a ramp for him to go up on his electric wheelchair that he pushes with a button and then it folds up. In the center, he's locked into the floor. They locked his wheelchair in so he doesn't roll around inside his vehicle. And on the right-hand side, you can see 3 silver metal things up with all the controls that are at his height. So he can put the gas, the brakes, lights, horn, everything there. And they had to raise the cage as well. So he was giggling as he left the barn too, because he was riding around on his parents' farm now like a daredevil. So, and this gentleman actually is starting or has started developing a park on his parents' farm north of Toronto. I don't think it's open yet, but he wants to have a place where people with disabilities, especially adults, can go, or teens and adults can go. You'll be able to ride on his vehicle. You'll be able to do target shooting, bow and arrow. Like he's trying to get different activities set up there. So once he does get his park open, I will certainly advertise it on our Facebook because he just wants to charge a nominal fee for people to go in and have fun. So I think it'll be great. This is a video here I'm going to start. We're getting into a lot of automation, a lot of voice automation. And this is showing the sliding door being open because this gentleman also can only move his right index finger. That's why all his controls are on his head. And he'll be able to open his sliding door here onto his balcony for the first time. I'll let you watch this. Well, so it's really cool because we do coffee makers, fans, TVs, radios. If you have an automatic door opener in your front door, you don't have to use a button anymore. We can make a voice control for you. We can also put a sensor on your chair that when you go by, the door just opens, so less effort for you. And technology is just getting so much further that we're going to be doing a lot more going forward.
Sorry, Sylvia, I must have missed. Did he just say the word open
He
and the
said
door?
tap, he said tap open.
Okay.
Now, we don't advise that. That's inside his home, so that's safe. When someone has it on their front door, we ask them to say, don't say open front door because anyone walking by, it will respond to that command. So people will say open pumpkin, uh, you know, open apple, or whatever word you want to use as a code to get in your door. Yeah. He
Okay.
just said open. I think he just said open door.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. It's
yeah,
amazing.
it's pretty cool. And like I said, you don't even have to be able to speak anymore. Our gentleman in Windsor has developed from a very cheap product, I think it's like $20, a sensor that can be put on your chair so that when you go by or get close to the door, it will just open.
That's
Yeah, for those
incredible.
people that can't speak or are losing their voice, it's really good. So this is a really cool project done by an Ottawa chapter. It's a sidecar for a teenage boy that wants to ride motorcycle with his dad. He's in a wheelchair. So again, on the right-hand side, you can see the silver medal in the back. That's a ramp that takes him up. Of course, they lock his wheelchair on the floor again. They built him a little wheelchair. And his dad is the one on the left with the hat on, who's smiling from ear to ear, because now he can take his son out for motorcycle rides. This one here was done, I believe, in London, and this is just a portable ramp to get the person up to the height so they can transfer easily into their car. This was also done actually by a company in London, which we didn't expect. A client needed some home therapy stairs to learn how to walk again. And the Parkwood gave us the client, but the London Stair and Railing Company actually donated all the material and made the stairs for the client. And that's why we had the plaque made on the side there so that we could mount it onto the project to give thanks to the company for doing all the work. This also was done in London. The gentleman had a stroke and couldn't hang on to his cane any longer. So, out of some Velcro and some ingenuity, he can now strap that on and hang on to his cane and not worry that he's going to lose it. We do that also for kayaks, rowboats, things like that. Anything you want to grip, we can make you a grip glove. And this is Sam Sullivan here. As I said, he was the founder of Tetra and he became the mayor of Vancouver. And he's holding the Olympic flag on the left, which he couldn't hold himself. So Tetra had to build him a flag holder for his electric wheelchair. So we made it onto the Olympic stage, which I think is pretty cool. And of course, if you know anybody who likes to tinker, or even somebody that wants to volunteer, we have clients that have come to volunteer. They help us spread the word for Tetra. They can do presentations. They sit at like the spinal cord injury event you had. They sit at our table and talk about Tetra and their experience. So you don't have to be able to build or construct anything. We also take people what we call outreach volunteers. So if you know anybody that likes to do stuff, you can let them know about us. These are some of our supporters. This is my information that Julie can send out, and she also has the links, but I can send her again our Facebook page, which is really cool because all our finished projects go on there. and our website as well. So we can send that out to you. And that's it. Any questions?
Thanks, Sylvia. Does anyone have any questions for Sylvia about Tetra or maybe stuff they do or so Sylvia, if no, oh, maybe we do have a question coming in.
Maybe you do. Um,
Absolutely.
do you do simple repairs for things? Like I've got the my scooter, the front cowling is separated, and it's just a couple of simple things need to be reattached.
Yep.
Um,
I can't
okay,
promise you anything, but what you do is if you fill out a form, our volunteers will come out and see what they can do. And if they can do it, they will certainly do it for you. Definitely.
okay, excellent. Now
Yeah.
I want to also comment. One day I wanted to use my sewing machine, which I'm not a sewer, but I couldn't properly use the foot pedal because I'm paraplegic. So I got in touch with the Tetra Society, and they put an air
A
um,
sip and
a,
puff.
a sip and puff
I
for
know
my sewing
exactly who
machine.
you are. I know
Yes,
exactly who you are.
they
We
did
shared
a
a project in your video with many people. We've done many sewing machines after you. So how is it
oh,
working for you?
honestly, I wish I used it as much as I would like to, but uh, COVID got in the way of me getting supplies. I was
I
hoping to
understand.
make a business of making bow ties.
Oh, cool.
I will get back to it one day, but there's always something else comes in the way. And that's what's been happening, but it's still sitting there,
Excellent.
waiting. Yeah, but
Yeah,
you guys
excellent.
did a wonderful job, and I
I'm
will
glad it
actually
worked.
go ahead. Thank you so much.
No problem. I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, I'm disappointed at the number of participants today, but hopefully the video will get shared.
Yeah, we will
Yeah.
put this on our core tree website. So this is why we do record this so that anyone can watch it at any time. Sometimes the day and time doesn't work for people. So the fact
Right.
that Sylvia is okay with us recording this so that we can put it on our website is very helpful.
And
That was a
also
great
Julie,
presentation.
no
That was a
problem.
great
And Ju
presentation,
no,
Sylvia.
no problem. And
Everything that you
Julie's
showed was
probably,
good.
yeah, Julie's probably seen this 50 times. So we do this often and right across the province. So we're, even if we get one or two people each time, it's one or two people that, get to know about us because I was saying to Julie, we don't have a lot of money to advertise. It's word of mouth and events like this that let us do that because that's what I like about this organization. Most of the funding goes to the client, and that's the beauty. So that's why you don't have
Great.
to pay for anything.
Thanks, Al. So Sylvia, if anyone like isn't sure or is just wondering, could something be done? Should they call you or is it best to go fill out a form?
Yeah, the fastest is to fill out the form because that's all I'll do because I'm not the technical volunteer. So I can't really say, like I probably would have said, I can't help you with a sewing machine, right? I have no idea how to do this, but the engineers are so clever. So the easiest is just put the form in. The only things we've rejected in the past are things that are like someone wanted us to repair their home elevator in the house. We're not going to touch that because that's very dangerous. You have to get somebody in. We also don't do large construction projects, like we don't renovate a bathroom, but we will lower your clothes, know, rack if you need it to. We have made lower countertops, to put a crock pot on. Like we'll do small construction projects, but no rooms or doors or things like that. But the easiest is just put the form in. Yeah, it just speeds everything up.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. It's
All
a
right.
great organization. I talk about it all the time. Like you said, Sylvia, it's hard to have the money always to, get the advertising out there, but I know like SCIO, you think you guys are great and it's just amazing. If you go on their website, you can see a lot more of the projects that they've done and it's just really cool some of the things that people come up with to
Yeah. And people think life is over, once you have an accident or an illness or something preventing you from doing something. But like I said, we've attached cameras to wheelchairs. We've altered the button that you push on it. We can do a lot of things these days. So, if you're thinking of taking up a new hobby or like I said, a sport, or a musical instrument, get a hold of us. We'll do our best to make it work for you.
I just thought of another thing that you could do for me. I have a scooter with this little tiny beep beep horn. I'll bet you could, as another project, put like a big fog horn on it to make it get people out of the way instead of what was that?
Don't you want darts? Yeah, that's not a problem, Al. Like I said, just put in the form and we can certainly take a look at that.
Cool. Thanks.
No
Thanks so
problem.
much.
Okay, if there's no other questions, this was a great presentation as always, Sylvia. This one we've got recorded, so we will put it on our Cortree webpage. So I don't know if
Excellent.
either of you have ever been on Cortree. It's cortree.com, and we've got lots of great videos. All of our past peer connections we've recorded. There's different videos on, renovating a home, equipment, supplies, like just any topic you can think of. We've got videos on our Cortree about it, so it might be worth taking a look at and seeing if you can find anything of interest on there. And then thank you as well, Sylvia, again for doing this presentation. And we look forward to seeing you at our future
No
presentation.
problem. Anytime, Julie, in person or virtual, just send out an email.
Awesome. Thank you, Sylvia. And
Thank
thank you
you,
for
everyone,
joining
for
us.
listening today.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye,
You too.
everybody.
Bye-bye. Take care.